minutes that were distributed earlier? I'm not seeing anything either in the chat box or any hands up. So all those in favor, please say aye for the approval of the minutes.
Aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. The minutes are approved. Okay, moving along, we have the district officer reports coming up. And being the president this year, I'm very proud to be your president, and hopefully that's going to come up on screen here shortly. But I just wanted to take a few moments just to share with you, as I already did on the scholarships, that was something new that we tried this year for the retirees and the public agency members. And that was something that you saw at this meeting. And what I'm going to talk about are just the things that happened at this meeting. For the first time, we had the speed mentoring event. The leadership folks took that on, and we had some lessons learned from that. But overall, everybody had a great experience in participating. But if you were one of the ones who participated, please let us know your thoughts and comments. We also had the soft skills training provided through the leadership team on persuasion and influence. Also this year, different because it doesn't happen every year, is we had the session on strategic planning. We had information and input provided during the opening session, as well as 4 focus groups during the course of the meeting. One last thing that we tried out this year that's still in progress is I have teamed up the section boards to meet with each other. Alabama and Virginia are one set of teams, as Tennessee in the Deep South, Kentucky and North Carolina, and Georgia and South Carolina. And these boards have actually gotten together to meet so that they can learn from each other and figure out how best they can help each other, whether it's providing speakers, experience with technology on how to run these virtual meetings, how to do a better job of getting public agency participation, how to attract young members. Anything and everything is on the table. And the feedback I've received so far is that those meetings are happening and are making a positive impact, and they will continue throughout the rest of this year. Please stay tuned as the year progresses, because we'll have articles. I know either I'll write them or I'll get someone to write them, but we're going to be doing some other programming virtually during the course of this year. And it's new stuff, and just stay tuned for when we actually have dates and times for when we're going to unveil some of those programs. And on that note, I'd like to turn it over to Allison, who hopefully we can hear now because she was having problems earlier. Allison? I do not hear you. I see your lips moving. She's going to come back again. We'll go ahead and move on to the next person. And Allison, when you get your capability for sound, feel free to let me know so that we can get back to you. We're going to go ahead and move on to Krista with the Secretary Treasurer and Audit Reports. Krista.
Krista emailed a minute ago. She's having trouble getting on to the meeting, so you might have to come back to her as well.
Thank you. Becky, you're up next, past president.
Well, that's convenient. Okay. Yeah, just real quick. Cindy had asked me at the beginning of the year to assemble a past presidents committee to participate in tasks as assigned by her throughout the year. So we did that. We have a committee of 5 of us, all past presidents at both section. Everyone's a section past president, and several are district past presidents as well. So the first thing we were tasked with doing was the retiree and public sector scholarships. And so Cindy already reported on that, but we were pleased to award 6 scholarships this year and hope to continue that for future meetings. And then the other task we did this year was to review the Southern District Operations Manual and propose some changes. And I believe that will be mentioned later in the meeting. But the biggest task that we're working on right now was Cindy had tasked us, she mentioned a minute ago that the speed mentoring that occurred at this annual meeting, and she wants us to continue mentorship throughout the year. So our committee has been tasked with putting together a 1-hour session each month that'll be held virtually on different topics. Some will be panel discussions, some will be presentations, some will be interactive. Some are geared towards the full Southern District membership, and some are geared towards Southern District leadership. But just to go ahead and announce the first two, the first one will be on May 19th. During the lunch hour, more information will be coming out on that, but the topic is benefits of professional certification. So put that on your calendars. And then the second one will be in June. It's more for leadership, but anybody is welcome to attend, and it will be on hybrid meetings. And then we have identified another 6 topics throughout the year. We've not assigned them to months at this point, as we're still lining up champions for each one and specific speakers. But anyway, I did want to make you aware of that, and please plan to join us.
Thank you, Becky. An update on Allison. She is almost home, and then she's going to switch to her personal computer and try to join us then. Krista, are you available yet? I'm not. Okay.
We're still having problems trying to connect, guys.
Okay, I'll go ahead and continue on with the International Directors Report. And Scott is he's on his way back from California. He got his timing messed up as to when his flight was. So I'm going to do his report for him. Scott is very excited to be the director this year. And he said COVID has presented challenges for ITE in the past year, but the organization is still very strong. After a great deal of consideration, the Portland meeting will be virtual this year. We intend to present additional information. He intends, not me, he intends to present additional information and recording in the upcoming newsletter now that he knows how to make videos and embed them. So pay attention for his upcoming videos. All are encouraged to reach out at any time, phone, email, or text with questions or if you need help. And that is his brief report. So next up, Craig with the district administration report.
Thanks. I can go ahead and do the financial report if you want me to.
Why don't you, in case Krista doesn't get on?
Okay.
Thank you.
2020 was a very good year from a budget standpoint for the district. We had planned on taking money out of the reserve fund to fund some initiatives, but because of COVID, we did not do those things, and we did not need to take any money out of the reserve to fund last year's budget. There are some things in this year's budget that we planned on funding from the reserve fund because we were unsure about what impacts COVID would have on dues collections and things like that. But based on our first dues payment from International ITE, I think we're going to get about what we've been getting in the past. So the need to tap the reserve fund to fund the operating budget may not be something that we have to do this year. But you should have gotten a PDF with last year's budget showing the budget and what was spent. If anybody's got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Hey, Cindy,
And,
I was just going to say, I'm here now, and I apologize for all my numerous technical issues, so I can give the auditor's reports if nobody has questions on Craig's report.
I'm not seeing any questions, so go ahead and do the audit report, Krista. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank Kelly Patrick in Georgia and Graham Winchester in Kentucky, along with myself. We were served as the audit committee this year, and we did a very thorough review of all of the books and information that Craig provided. And we are happy to report that all the records are in order and they provide adequate documentation for expenditures and receipts. And once again, special thanks to Craig, who does such a great job, keeps everything very detailed, and it's very easy to check and to show that he does an excellent job. So thank you, Craig.
Okay,
I'll do the district administrator's report real quick.
okay,
So far this year, we have secured our liability insurance and our management insurance for the district. We've renewed our incorporation. We conducted the electronic election of officers, and we've handled the preparation and submission of our tax return to the IRS.
it's been a busy year. The usual. Thank you, Craig. I'm not seeing any comments or questions coming up. So we will continue on with the district committee reports. First up will be the annual meeting. I'm assuming Mike will be the one to take the lead on that. I see he's online, but he's,
Yep.
There we go.
I'm here.
Good
All right.
deal.
So real quick LAC report. You've probably seen too much of us this week, honestly. So, but really the big thing I wanted to mention here is that, as I said before, doing a virtual meeting, probably at the beginning, we thought was going to be easier, and it is probably about 5 to 10 times harder than doing a live meeting. And so no way this could have been done without all the volunteers, especially, and I don't want to make Jeff and Meredith blush, but the ICNO committee did an amazing job putting this together. It was a bit of a shuffle, a 3-card Monty, whatever you want to call it, and they came out aces every single time. So I just want to thank them for doing such a great job. There's no way we could have done this without them. And then all the volunteers that helped, all the hosts of all the sessions, all the moderators were great. We had great presentations. We've gotten some really good emails from folks on Thankful that we did some great presentations. And just everyone who was involved was amazing. We just had an amazing team doing this. So I just want to thank everyone for that. Our sponsors too. I want to thank all of our sponsors. Definitely could have not done this without our sponsors. So it was just a great, I think it turned out even better than we imagined it would. Just as a recap, 312 attendees is what we ended at. Sponsorships, we ended at 13,500. We might be getting more because some of the presentations were commercial, so we might actually be trying to get some more sponsorship money after this. And that's something we can talk about later. We have a lot of lessons learned on how to do a virtual meeting from this, and we're going to take those lessons learned and apply them into the SPAN manual because we need to be prepared for the future in case this ever happens again. And then we're going to be working with, Becky's committee, the past president committee, on the hybrid meetings. I think what we're going to see into the future is some sort of online venture that's combined with live meetings. I think it's probably going to be here to stay. So we are going to talk about that with Becky's group. We're going to include that in the SPAN manual. We're going to talk about it as a SPAN committee as well on what the future of that looks like. We are going to, our goal for the next month, obviously, because our work is not done. Our goal for the next month is to wrap up the finances, collect all the sponsorship money, make sure all of that's in line, pay everyone we needed to, pay off all our stuff that we need to, and then hopefully hand you back an amount of money that's more than what's in the budget, which I think we're going to be able to do. I think, it's just as Craig said, we didn't have to go into our reserves this year. I don't think we're gonna have to dip into that for this meeting either. I think we've had a very, very successful meeting. After some anxiety there, probably in February, we really, in March, we really turned this into an amazing meeting. And again, everyone who was involved, you can't do this without, and everyone who's been in the meetings and in the attendance, we've had great attendance in the sessions. And if you all have any feedback for us, we typically do, just to let everyone know, we typically do an LAC kind of wrap up meeting on the last morning of every meeting. We have not done that this time because we wanted to make sure we had sessions and available, and we didn't want to burn people out with meetings. We wanted to make sure we had a space for this business meeting. So if you have any feedback for us, do not hesitate to contact us, and we can, we can file that away and put it into our SPAN manual or something, and hopefully we can do better next time. But I hope everyone had a good time, and I hope everyone saw it, and I'm going to get some good sleep tonight. I'm sure everyone else in LAC as well. So I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me ramble.
Mike, we look forward to seeing your report at the year-end board meeting, because typically the LAC prepares one. So the good news is it's not due till November.
That's good. We'll probably do it. What's the meeting date? November 11th. We'll probably do it on November 10th. So that's fine.
But thank you very much. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that y'all agreed to take this on this year, because if you hadn't have, we wouldn't have been meeting. And I'm glad it was your district in terms of having the practice and the skills with the technology sets, because I realize some of our other sections are still much more challenged even a year now that we're over a year into COVID in terms of meeting electronically.
Yep. And let me say, I'm saddened I did not say this. Obviously I'm speaking for the LAC co-chairs, but Terry's probably done most of the work. She's not getting the credit she deserves, even though she very much deserved that award yesterday that she won. She's been behind the scenes a lot of the time and doesn't necessarily come out and say things, but she's done an absolutely amazing job. She's the one putting together the daily emails that are going out to everyone, which I think is an amazing part of this, and to be able to provide that information to our attendees every day. That's probably something we're going to continue into the future, even with the live meetings. I think that's something that's great. And honestly, we got the idea from the Georgia Tech meeting last February, because they did that. They did that every day of their meeting, and I thought it was awesome. And we're playing off things, we're learning things as we go along. And then of course Krista Greeny was the other co-chair, and Krista's been an amazing part of this as well. And then of course Jeff and Meredith. Again, I can never thank Jeff and Meredith enough for this. I will never ever be able to thank them enough. And yes, Becky, we are still up for hosting in 2024. I saw the question. Hopefully it will be a lot easier, but the sad part is that we were hoping we could all drink on the veranda of the hotel right next to the river, and we'll be able to do that in 3 years. I guarantee it. I'll buy everyone a drink. Well, Southern District will buy everyone a drink.
And this is Terry, and I would just like to add that Mike, Chris, and I will be drinking without you guys very soon. So sorry about that.
Yep.
Did you want to say anything else, Terry?
No, I'm done. I'm good.
How about you, Krista? Any final words of wisdom from the LAC?
I just want to echo all of Mike's thank yous, because we have had an amazing team that have worked their butts off in the last few weeks too. So it wouldn't have been possible if us three were the ones doing it all. That a bunch of Nick site people have really stepped up, and then Jeff from another section too, and have helped carry this too. And we're really happy with the results. So thanks to everybody for registering and participating, because I think it's been a successful virtual meeting, and we hope to never have one like this again.
And on that note,
I want to see everybody.
Yeah, in person. Yep.
Yes. This is my favorite meeting of the year, and it's really sad to not see everybody and participate in all the real Southern District activities too. So while this was an okay replacement, I just look forward to seeing you all in Kentucky.
Totally agree. So any other final words on the annual meeting report? Any questions, comments from anyone in attendance here? I'm not seeing anything in the chats or hands up. So Allison,
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can actually hear you now.
Yay! I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what the problem was, but I'm glad I was able to get home and in front of a computer. So quickly, before I give my little short report, I do really want to thank you to Cindy and Becky for both this year and last year. They've supported me. I've been struggling, but they're amazing, big, huge shoes to fill, and they've helped me when I needed it. So I just want to say thank you to y'all. And of course the LAC too, y'all have done an amazing job, and I don't want any more virtual meetings after this. I'm ready to see everybody too. But on my report, so good news, membership is trending upward. For those who don't have it in front of you, the total reported on the website for Southern District is 2,412. But the breakdown is 338 students, 1,676 members, 191 fellows, and 4 honorary, and that actually adds up to 2,209. And since most of us are math people, that doesn't add up. So one of the things I'm going to try to do as just a follow-up to this meeting is get in touch with ITE and find out what the discrepancy is. I also reported it per section, and there were discrepancies there too. So I'm going to try to find out what that is. Hopefully we can get it right for next time. And that's my membership report.
Thank you. And I'm glad you're can be heard. because it was like, I'm not into
Right.
lip reading in spite of everything. So thank you. Next up, we have the awards committee, and I'm going to cover that for Scott because Todd is not online either. Todd Long, that is. And according to Scott, the awards were presented at the awards ceremony yesterday morning. Virtual ceremonies are not a good replacement for the real in-person ceremony. And he would like to thank the awards committee for their efforts, as there was a lot of work behind the scenes to make it happen. And obviously that's a recurring theme to the meeting this year. There's always a lot behind the scenes, but I think even more so doing this meeting virtually. So not seeing anything, we'll continue on with the education and student chapters report from Robert Baker and Jody Peace. Are you guys online? I don't see Robert. Hang on here, I'm checking for Jody. And I don't see Jody. Okay. We'll see if they join us before the end of the meeting, because they were expecting to be here from everything I had known. Next up, back to Becky on nominations.
Yes, my work as nominations committee starts in the fall, so no report at this time.
Thank you, Becky. Craig, Teller's report. Your microphone is.
Yeah,
There
I'm
we
trying to
go.
find my mouse. We did hold the voting electronically this year. Voting closed on the 2nd, and we held a conference call with the executive committee and the candidates the following week to announce the results. And the results of the election were that Allison will be the new president, Krista will be the new vice president, and Lindsay Walker will be the new secretary treasurer. There was no election for international rep. Scott's office is multiple years.
So
Congratulations, Lindsay.
congratulations to Lindsay, and look forward to working with you next year. So now we need a motion, and in a second, even though it's electronic voting, we still have to destroy the ballots. So do I have a thank you,
motion to destroy
Allison
them.
Second.
and Becky seconded. We're going to go ahead and vote because I don't think there's a need for discussion at this point. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, folks. Next up is the traffic bowl, and Greg Judy sent me his report, and his is also nice and short and sweet. He said, hopefully y'all got to catch at least part of it, if not all of it, that we had a total of 7 teams and representation from 8 of the 9 sections. He didn't experience any real problems, which is really great news. He said it was more about being proactive to think of various scenarios that could go awry and having a plan to deal with it, like when Tommy's internet froze, but fortunately that was for a very short moment. He said communication is another thing, very important and challenging, especially with students. It's much easier to do this if we are in person. Also, the buzz-in using the chat box is not ideal, but it's the best solution that we currently have. He wanted to definitely make sure that we thanked our celebrity judges, Alyssa Rodriguez and Paula Flores, who are international past presidents, for serving as judges. And definitely he wanted to thank the ICNO for the Zoom platform and the live stream option, and more importantly, for pulling it off. In case you hadn't heard, the winning team was Clemson University, and he and Craig are in the process of coordinating to get the students their checks. And he's going to help coordinate Clemson's arrangements in competing at the national contest. which once again, as reported earlier, is going to also be another virtual meeting. So by any chance, is Blair online for the ABD report?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good, because I've not seen you on my participants list. So take it away, Blair.
Okay, do you see me now? That's not a good thing if you do anyway, but
I see your face, but I don't see your name. I'm trying to figure out how you're in here.
okay.
But go ahead.
Okay, well, this is our first virtual exhibit hall, and we had very few technical difficulties, and out of the 312 attendees at the meeting, 36 showed up for the exhibit hall that we could see, and we did the raffle. We have 8 winners of those 36 people. And I am working with Greg on the traffic bowl winner situation, trying to get those kids, the Clemson Dynasty, their checks. So I guess that's all I got.
Well, Blair, I'd like to say I was one of your 36 people at your event, and I personally really enjoyed the technical presentations that everybody gave. They were nice, brief, let you know what the new technologies and things were. And I thought that was really cool. And unfortunately, I only had time to get to there was one table I really wanted to get to when we went into being able to go visit the tables. And I was able to do that and had a really great conversation. So I think anyhow, from my perspective, I really liked it and I appreciated that y'all did that for the Southern District. So thank you.
Okay, well, thank you people who did show up and attend it. We had a couple practice runs. All the exhibitors did. They had different formats, showing videos, presentations and stuff, but I think it worked out.
Good deal. Anybody else have any comments, questions? Look forward to seeing you in person next year, Blair.
Yes, me too. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last of the district committee reports is going to be Hollis Loveday on the strategic plan.
Hey, Cindy, thank you. We had a very busy annual meeting, the strategic plan team. We had really 4 different sessions, if you include the board and the opening session, the board meeting opening session, and 2 sets of focus group meetings. So we challenged ICNO, Meredith and Jeff quite a bit with our needs. We were a very needy committee, but they did a great job. So also I want to express my appreciation to them and also the LAC for accommodating us and in such a great way. We got a lot of great information from those focus groups and from the opening session and from the board meeting. So we'll take that back and process it. We will be doing some interviews and reaching out to a lot of different groups in the spring and in the summer. And we'll have a working session at the year-end board meeting in Savannah, Saturday and Sunday. So that'll be a big focus. And then finally, we will come back to the board at the Louisville meeting and present the 2027 strategic plan. So we're looking forward to a good year to develop that.
Thank you, Hollis. Does anybody have any questions for Hollis? Okay. Next up are the Member Services Committee reports, and I'm going to ask Lindsay to kick that off as co-chair of that overall umbrella committee.
Yeah, and I was kind of scanning through. I only see maybe Kevin that's on our committee. So I guess we had a fail on that one that we probably should have told everybody to get on Friday. I don't know. I don't even have Chris. It's okay. So yes, Chris Kirby and I are co-chairs for the Member Services Committee. And that is, for those of you that aren't aware, we have 6 different committees under that and do a lot of the work through Southern District. So a lot of our technical programs and the outreach and annual meetings goes on under this group. So these folks put in a lot of time and effort and get things done. First up report is information, communications and outreach. So Jeff, do you want to give that? Is Meredith on here?
Hey, Lindsay, I'll be happy to give a report on ICNO. Appreciate that. So as you all know, ICNO is chaired by myself and Meredith Van Dyne, North Carolina. And we do have 14 members from various sections across the district. We're pretty well represented. I think like Meredith said in the board meeting, if we don't have representation from a section, we try to coordinate with them directly. And, one of our, several things fall under ICNO. I won't spend much time on those so I can get to the meeting and the virtual aspect, but website, the e-connector, the newsletter, that's Scott Walker, Leslie Tracy, Nick Jen, Graham Malone, and Meredith that work on that. Website is, I work on that along with Mark Herman and Mika McCowie, so with Virginia section. And as you all know, our main effort this year has been associated with the kind of standing up the virtual meeting platforms, which also included the annual meeting, obviously, just that had to occur because of COVID-19. So our committee was charged by Becky Rogers probably, I guess several months ago with, looking into this, doing research, making some recommendations. I think it was a great idea of Becky's and, a lot of great insight and forethought in the district offering this technology to all the sections just to try to help support that. And we were just glad that ICNO could step in and be in a position to be able to help with that, and appreciate the board's support financially for making these happen. We had to make some adjustments coming into the meeting to help facilitate the concurrent sessions and the transitions and things like that. So definitely appreciate the board considering and allowing our requests there for modifying our accounts to help with the meeting. So if you don't know, we've got GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar available, as well as Zoom Meeting and Zoom Webinar available as platforms that can be used by the district in the different sections. We also have a platform that's called WooClap that was used in the board meeting, which is an environment that you can use to do polling, word clouds, and things of that nature. So if you've got any meetings where that might be a useful tool, we've got that in our toolbox as well. And of course, you can do polls and surveys within Zoom as well. So our next steps with the virtual platforms is going to be, trying to help identify a more sustainable model for setting up and starting and hosting meetings that doesn't bottleneck through Meredith and myself. And we would like to have the sections assistance with that. So we'll be working through that here in the coming weeks once we kind of wind down from this meeting a little bit. So sections will be hearing from us on trying to figure out exactly what that looks like. And I just wanted to thank Mike Sarasky for the kind words earlier. No doubt we were swimming at times, trying to get some of this stuff up and going. And, as far as the meeting goes, we had a few issues with passwords on the first day. I think we had a few issues with the daily email blasts, making it to everybody for various reasons. I even had one that went to spam for some reason. But I think as the meeting progressed, we started having less and less requests for passwords to join and things of that nature. Most of the sessions got recorded successfully. We had a few that had some glitches. We do intend on publishing most of the videos to our YouTube channel, the recordings to our YouTube channel, so that those sessions can be available for later viewing. So we do intend to do that. Let's see here. I just wanted to thank all the other ICNO members, and then there were also several members of the North Carolina section, the LAC. I see Sarah on the call here. And then there were several others that stepped up and filled the role of host in a lot of the meetings. That allowed for Meredith and myself to just kind of be rovers and be able to jump in and help out and address things as needed. And I think Becky White is on here. I just want to thank her as an employer for her support of me personally in ITE and allowing me to be pretty much out of pocket the last couple of weeks from a work standpoint, and be able to help with this meeting. I promise I'm going to get back to doing some billable work soon. I just want to thank her for that support. And outreach, just to kind of hit that, that's been put on the back burner due to COVID, but we're hoping to jump back into that pretty soon. And this may not be the best time to do this, but if anybody is interested in joining ICNO, we would be happy to have anybody that has an interest in technology and website editing, newsletter editing, things of that nature. But it's definitely been an adventurous year. We appreciate everybody's patience. And sorry for going so long. I think that's all I got, unless anybody has any questions.
And we're only through a third of the year.
Yes, but I think maybe the biggest challenge, hopefully we can do the year-end board meeting in person, and you won't, if you can find help with doing the virtual platform, like you said, and not going through you and Meredith all the time, which is, I mean, fine for us, but man, that's just got to take a toll on your all schedule when people are asking, hey, we want to schedule a meeting, and then you got to start it and all of that. So, I mean, it's appreciated throughout, just not just this meeting, but those, and just all the work that you put into it and the support that you're giving to the annual meetings now too. So, you know, definitely look for some more volunteers and beef up your committee, since there's so much going on. And that's not even talking about the newsletter, which is also an effort getting out every month and being consistent. And it seems to be very well read, and people look forward to it. So thank you both.
Yes, thank you both. And I was going to add, if you would, Jeff, you might want to mention about the calendar that's on the website for getting meetings scheduled. Since this is the business meeting, they may not be aware.
Yeah, sure. So we do have a process for requesting the virtual platforms. If you go to the Southern District website, it's sdite.org/calendar, or there should be a link to it from the front page of the website. There's a form that you can fill out to request the use of the virtual platforms. We're going to ask a few questions about your meeting, kind of what it's called, what the intent is, dates, really just as much information that you can get us about the meeting, the better that positions us to be able to, I guess, get the meeting set up. It does link with Google calendars. So there's an actual calendar on that page where you can go in and kind of look ahead of time to see if it's reserved for a specific date that you might be interested in. But as soon as you make the request, and as soon as we can work through any other clarifications, we'll get the meeting programmed and get it on the calendar so that you'll be ready to go.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank
Great.
you.
So next is annual meeting. So not only did Mike Sarasky and Terry have to do this meeting, but they're also the chairs for the annual meeting planning. So Mike or Terry, who wants to tackle that one?
Hey, this is Terry, and honestly, I haven't even looked at the report that Krista drafted for us. We have been fully focused on this meeting, so you'll just have to wait until our next board meeting to get a whole lot out of the spam committee.
Well, I think the big thing following this meeting, besides, you guys having your relaxing party and all, is like Mike said, working on the spam manual and
Yeah.
updating that to reflect the possibilities of the virtual meeting. And it's been an ongoing process since we have been modifying and adding and different things like with the joint meeting. So putting in some of those options and guidance in there.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay.
The next one is leadership with Chris Rhodes. I don't think Chris Rhodes is on here. No, so I can pull up that report and give you a quick synopsis of it. Where was it? I mean, they've been working on some modules, and were a couple incorporated into this meeting.
The persuasion and influence one
Yes.
was, and then they also worked on the speed mentoring event.
Yes.
Those were the functions of the leadership team this year.
Yeah, so he had 17, I think, altogether, and looking to get some momentum on putting some more of those out, and also been putting in the connector a section about leadership. So those have been a couple of key operations under his committee. Anything else I'm missing?
No, they've been doing a really nice job. I know every quarter he maps out who's going to write an article for the e-connector, and the articles have been very good in terms of just nice, easy, short reads, but they've been very good. And I have let him know that I appreciate their what they've turned out. So that pretty much sums that up.
Okay, and then next is technical knowledge, and I did see Kevin on here.
I don't see Kevin Cole.
I thought I saw him on here.
There's a Kevin Counts.
I've got a Kevin Cole on.
Well,
Well, it's on the participant list. Maybe not.
Hey, I'm here. Sorry about that.
okay.
Were you asking, was it my turn now to talk? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're up, Kevin.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. And so the Technical Knowledge Committee has been very active this year, and we had some papers submitted, and we were pleased to get them reviewed and scored. And one of the things, if you remember last year, we were able to get the responses from all the attendees when they got their PDHs in the app. So that was very good information, and we want to continue to build and grow on that. This year, the PDHs are being done through our website. So please, when you go do your PDHs, answer the questions accurately as you feel about the session you participated in, and we'll be using that information to build on and continue forward. Another thing that committee has wanted to do, while we're getting good participation, it's small numbers of technical papers being submitted from graduate students and younger professionals that have time to do the technical papers. We're realizing, and we've all discussed about the special projects. So we'll be looking at ITE's guidelines on their special project contest, and we'll be integrating and adding a special projects category to our competitions for the Louisville conference. That way we'll still accept the papers, the technical papers coming in, and score them as we normally do. And then we'll be looking to develop the guidelines so we can evaluate and award special projects very similar to what ITE does. So, so I think that's my full report. Thank you for your support and the awards we're able to provide and get participation for our contest. So thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. I know you've been very on top of trying to get those out and trying to think through what the process needs to be and making sure we're getting the most out of doing that.
Right.
The next report would be out of, let's see, workforce development. And again, I think we might be missing France Campbell on this, but I know he's had probably some busy time too, helping out with this meeting, doing registration, and but they've been working on, he took over the committee not too long ago, And they've been working on putting some modules together. And we'll hopefully be getting those available, kind of putting them into format. And I know there was a couple last time I talked to him that they were working on trying to finish. Cindy, anything to add on that one?
No, just stay tuned to the eConnector for when we get ready to advertise the project management light class, which we think is going to be possibly in June. So
Very good. And the last one is young members. And that's something I feel like we've talked about a lot through the strategic planning meetings, and wanting to make sure that we're doing a really good job getting them plugged in and integrated into the district and their sections. So objectives they've had a couple of committee meetings as Noel Wilcox took over this one recently too. Plans for 2021 include aiding the sections and encouraging younger member involvement, creating more opportunities within the districts and sections to allow young member involvement. Another one that I really like is host regular happy hours to encourage interaction between the younger members. And one they mentioned was centering it around post PE exam celebration. So that's a really good idea to kind of tag onto that, and new PE, and it's there that they get an opportunity to kind of, phew, we passed, yay. And then moving forward, that they want to discuss partnering with individual sections to host social hours like that, and develop succession plan for the committee. Even though she just took it over, we need to make sure that we're transitioning well with all of the committees, and people don't drop the ball on things, so it can be smooth transition on that. And just really looking for opportunities for the younger members to get with other members in the district. And one thing that was mentioned on the strategic planning meeting, I think by Becky White, was the ambassadors program, and trying to get a longer time member paired with a younger member at the beginning of the conference to kind of get them oriented a little bit more to the Southern District meetings, because I know they can be a little bit overwhelming. And we distinctly talked about, I know we're all very, very friendly towards each other, and it's kind of like homecoming when you go to the meetings and everybody's happy to see each other, but we don't want to be exclusive to new attendees and younger members. So that was something that was brought up, so we can kind of bring them into the fold.
And the only other thing I would like to add for Noel's committee is they are taking on this year, hopefully in September, they're going to do a technical session for the Southern District, because normally they're just a social group in terms of what goes on, which is great. But I've challenged them to hold a technical conference for us. And I said they could pick a topic that they felt that was important, that they felt the rest of us needed to be aware of. But the program and everything is supposed to be driven by the young members, but with help from those of us who are more seasoned at pulling this kind of stuff off. I think they're in great hands, and they were very excited about the opportunity to host that event. So once again, stay tuned to your e-blasts and e-connectors for updated information and possible assistance that may be needed.
Thanks, Cindy.
Thank you, Lindsay.
I was going to say, I actually did blank at the beginning of this. I do remember Chris had emailed me earlier in the week that he had a commitment that he needed to do during this. So he's not just blowing it off. So like, okay.
Okay, well, that wraps up member services. So now we're going to move on to the section reports. And first up is Scott for Alabama. Whoop. Is Scott here? Or Jeff?
No, Cindy, I'm going to give Alabama's report. I got with Scott a little earlier. He had a conflict. He's not going to be able to join today. So he and I coordinated. So I'm going to try to give a brief Alabama section report. So it's been a pretty challenging year for the Alabama section, actually, from the standpoint of dealing with COVID. You know, we love our annual meeting that we have in June, first part of June, down in Gulf Shores. We tried our best but ended up, of course, having to cancel that meeting due to COVID and everything. So we did have a virtual fall meeting on across November 4th and 5th of last year. And we have a virtual meeting scheduled for next week, actually on the 20th, a virtual spring meeting scheduled, and that's reflected on our website. I also wanted to mention that I guess during this time, our board's been in a little bit of transition. Our Secretary Treasurer took a new position down in Florida. So that has caused some transition with our board. We're in the process of addressing that. And as far as like looking at our annual meeting, which is normally scheduled in June, as I mentioned, we're looking at trying to do that in person, but pushing it out to possibly August of this year. I do not know for the Deep South folks on the line if the intent is for that to be a joint meeting or not. I will try to find that out, but I did not think to ask Scott that question. Let's see, another thing that the section is doing is I think we're going to coordinate with our present faculty advisors for all of our sections, our student chapters in the section, just to try to coordinate and regroup on that. You know, COVID has had an impact on that part of our section as well. So we're going to try to get together and coordinate and try to revamp that. Some sections or some student chapters have done better than others through COVID. So looking at that. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention that hopefully y'all got a chance to watch the opening session and see the distracted driving video that was produced by the student chapters. That was Cindy, appreciate you allowing that to be played during the opening session. Opening session is going to be one of the things that does get published to our YouTube channel. So if you didn't get a chance to look at that, we'll have that out there hopefully in the next couple of days. I don't know if Becky Rogers is still on. If there's something that I left out from what you heard on in the board meeting on Sunday, you can feel free to jump in. But I think that's pretty much it from Alabama section.
Yeah, I think you got it all. The only thing I wanted to mention is just for the Deep South folks on the line, the reason that the summer meeting may get postponed is not COVID related, actually. It's actually because of Hurricane Sally damaged 2 of the towers where the rooms are at the venue we normally meet at, and it's too late to get another venue. All the other venues in the area are booked up for June. So they say the renovations should be complete by July. So that's why they're looking to push that meeting out. So I just wanted to point that out.
Thank you. And we'll go ahead and move on to the next one, which is the Deep South. And I think Diane's online. And would you like to do the report?
Sure, I am here. Thanks for the information on the summer meeting, guys. We've talked about, we need to talk about the summer meeting, but we were kind of waiting to see what you guys do because we always like going to the beach. So we hadn't really, I don't think, committed to anything for our summer meeting yet, hoping that we would all still get to go. We did hold a joint meeting with Grits virtually online, and we had over 170 registrants, which is outrageous for our group. We just don't really draw that much ever. So that worked out well. Jessica Dilly is kicking off our distracted driving project for the year. She's supposed to be scheduling that meeting, I think, next month. And we did request to get some mentor mentee stuff going in the district. We've got some folks in the section. We've got some folks working on that. And we developed a committee on membership retention and growth, because that seems to be one of the big issues that we have in Deep South. So we're focusing on that for the rest of this year to try to get some things going there. And that's all I have. And Jeff, Becky, I'll coordinate with you guys on dates and how we can help and what you need, and communicate back to the board so we can get that dialogue going.
Thank you. Okay, next up, I believe Kelly Patrick is online for Georgia.
Yes, I'm here. Hello. Just wanted to do a quick update. So we've in spite of COVID, I think we've actually pretty much kept it a pace with our typical year in Georgia. We had 10 meetings in 2020, monthly meetings, including our annual in December. And we've already had 2 so far in 2021 with our next coming up next week. And so I think we're off and running and to a great start in 2021. At our December meeting, we distributed $15,000 in scholarships to 4 students. And we also graduated our 6 proteges from the mentorship program last year. So that was really successful. This year, so far, we had our joint winter workshop meeting with Georgia ASHE chapter. And we had over 300 registrants for that event. It was all virtual. And so that probably led to some of the additional numbers that we got, but it was a really good event. We're scheduled right now to have our usual monthly meetings through the rest of the year. Also, our July summer seminar annual event. Right now we're planning for a 50% in-person capacity event with also hybrid virtual event. But we can always, shift over to 100% virtual. We did that last year and it worked out really well. And it's worked out well so far for this meeting as well. With our distracted driving project, just wanted to mention that we are in our final stages, which is outreach for that service project. We completed a logo design contest last year, and we also did a data-driven safety analysis to help identify the top schools that had a distracted driving issue in the state. So moving forward with that, once we're able to go back in person, we hope to actually visit a school in person and attend some community events to distribute some of the material we've developed for that. And the last thing I wanted to mention is our section mentoring initiative. We're paired up with South Carolina, and we've had a great start with that. We met with them with a board. Both of our boards met and kind of talked through some of issues and challenges we're having. So I think we are both set up really well to complement each other in some of the things that we can improve upon. So I think that's it for me, unless anybody has any questions.
No, thank you for the report. That was very nice. Let's see, next, Stacy Phillips, North Carolina.
All right, so of course, our biggest thing we've been having going on was this meeting. So now drinking is up next, but let's see, we had a pretty busy year. Through the pandemic, we kind of became more active, trying to provide people a way to talk to other humans and get PDHs and all that. So we decided to change that up a little bit going into this year. And we've got sort of a series of initiatives going. So the Strategic Initiatives Council and Young Member Council have teamed up to host a series of 6 meetings that are conversations in transportation. So we already had the first of those in February with Dr. Hummer and Ward Nye. Some of you may have seen him present at this meeting. Then the Big Projects webinar series will be led by our section director, Kelly Reap. So there's going to be 4 to 6 of those this year. The first of those is planned for late this month. Then the Traffic Engineering Council last year hosted our Back to Basics webinar. So they're going to change that up this year and do Forward to the Future series. The first of those was in February, and there's going to be 1 per month. And then the Transportation Planning Council took over the Back to Basics series, held the first of those in January, and they're also planning to have 1 of those each month. Let's see, our distracted driving project, we finished that up last year. We teamed with the UNC Highway Safety Research Center on a series of posters, conducted a little effort to figure out who were the influential people that and ways to influence those people, and then created a series of posters, sent those out to practitioners through social media, email, things like that. In 2019, the Young Member Council hosted a technical retreat, and we want to do that again this year if we can, depending on COVID. But this year we want to focus that on soft skills training. We've got another batch of mentoring starting up this year. We've got mentor profiles and videos up on the website, and we're recruiting proteges right now, hoping to announce that sometime later this month. We were paired up with Kentucky, which we're really excited about. NIC site members attended the Kentucky winter meeting on February 4th. And then we had a virtual meet and greet between our boards on February 8th. And then Kentucky board members participated in the NIC site board meeting on February 18th. A couple other things we have going on. We adopted the Rocky Branch Greenway in memory of Todd Delk, and we've had a few cleanups of that. We've got another one scheduled for tomorrow. And then we continue to support NCGO, which is a statewide transportation advocacy organization. We're also members of North Carolina Vision Zero Working Group and Bike Walk NC. We, at our last meeting, gave out another 9 college scholarships for $21,000 at our 4 student member chapters. And then our most recent advocacy effort, we've joined the North Carolina Chamber of Commerce Destination 2030 advocacy group, and we'll be attending future coalition meetings, planning a stronger transportation future in North Carolina. I believe that's it.
Thank you, Stacy. As I've been scanning our participants list, I totally passed over Kentucky by mistake. So Lindsay, backing up, since Ann is not here, would you like to give the Kentucky report?
Yes. Yeah, I was all ready to go. I was like, wait a minute.
Sorry about that.
I was like, I know we're a small section, but we're doing stuff.
My apologies.
Well, yes, Brad has finally found a replacement for district rep, and Ann Warnick will be taking that over. Sorry, section rep, and she'll be taking that over. But she's on vacation this week, so we didn't quite plan that transition very well. But we have had a great year this past year, even with the virtual stuff. So we've been trying to have some virtual meetings, and our section president, Andrea, has been doing a great job with trying to stay on top of that, keep us focused, and getting some of these out. So we had a virtual meeting at the start of the year, and I was just so excited that so many people were willing to help out as we pulled in presentations from across the district, and then international president and past president were able to jump in and kind of give a welcome and introduction to IT. So it was kind of a little humbling, our little section, having all these folks coming in and talking to our group. So hopefully that was good for all. And we did a happy hour following that, which was fun. Had decent participation. And we did do the meet and greet with the NIC site board. It was a really good meeting too. We are going to plan on following up with that with some virtual events together, and as well as trying to do some idea sharing throughout the year. We have another meeting planned for May 6th with the Ohio section. We typically do a joint meeting with them. And later this year, we're hoping we're going to be able to have a couple of in-person meetings. We typically like to do a golf outing, and then a fall technical meeting, and an annual banquet in November. So our goal is all that. But we are going to be super busy this year with planning for Louisville next year. I kind of keep joking, yeah, no pressure. We don't have to do much of anything for the meeting because everybody's just going to be happy to be there in person. But, we're going to do a good job putting it together and making sure we adhere to all the hospitality and expectations to the best that we can for Louisville in 2022.
Thank you, Lindsay. Is there anybody on the line for South Carolina? Because I'm not seeing Demetra. And I'm not sure there is anyone. So not seeing or hearing anyone from South Carolina, we will skip over that one and move on to Tennessee. And will that be, who's going to speak on that one? Because I don't see Zane or Jason. So is that going to be you, Stephen? Are you still on?
Howdy, I'm still here.
Ah, good deal. Can you handle it?
I might. I wasn't really planning on it. We'll see. The state, our chapter, we've had our winter meeting with our traffic poll, and that obviously the team went on. We have another meeting scheduled for May. That all the invites and the information should be coming out to the section. Our summer meeting is planned for this coming July. We are still planning to have it in person. We'll be sending out a survey to our members in May to find out how many of the companies are going to allow travel to get a better handle on whether we're going to be able to afford it in person or not. And then we'll have our final meeting in the fall. One of our major focuses for this year is really trying to increase student participation and younger members, trying to engage student chapters and getting them more involved and participating in items and events and activities. The issue with us all doing things virtually, it's kind of hard to engage people and to really get them motivated to be involved. And it's a little hard to track it right now. Outside of that, I don't have anything else off the top of my head. Do you have any questions, Cindy, that may help jog my poor little memory?
Lucky for you, I don't. But I'm sure I'll bug you later, just as a T-Site member trying to tie into some of the Southern District initiatives. But anyhow, thank you for the stand-in report. Next up, we're going to hopefully hear from Valerie from Virginia. I thought I saw her online.
I am.
Yay, thank you.
So we rolled our board members over to 2021 due to COVID. This year we have registered 242 active members, which shows a lapse of about 34 members. Meetings, everything's been virtual. We did have a virtual trivia back in the fall where we did breakout rooms so people could commingle and answer together. And it was sort of testing platforms on how they work. We did do the traffic bowl virtually just a couple weeks ago. And as y'all saw, Virginia Tech managed to come in second place to Clemson. Someday Clemson will be bait. But we were proud for them to at least make it out of the first round and even get a second place finish. And we did do a traffic bowl watch party. So when we did the virtual traffic bowl, we wanted to keep everybody out because we weren't sure how it would go. And then we taped it, and then everybody came and did a traffic bowl watch party to see who won. And there was a bingo associated with that. So we do have an annual meeting scheduled for June 16th to 18th. Because that's coming up quickly, we're really trying to get that bumped minimally to later in the year, perhaps at the end of our contract. We're still waiting to see what our governor is going to do as the next rollout. But if we're forced into going this soon, we'll probably be a mix of in-person hybrid. I think the biggest problem is getting companies and businesses to agree to allow their people to actually go to that kind of thing. We are working on a distracted driving program. We are supporting Youth Speaks Out about traffic safety and their Arrive Alive campaign. SDITE will sponsor prizes for a separate creative entry competition for college students. And then finally, Virginia Tech / UVA as a combined entrance were selected to be the host of the 2022 student SDITE Student Leadership summit, and they're very excited and have started working on that already. And that's about all I have.
Thank you. Okay, we are going back to Lindsay. There we go. Nope, not there we go. To talk about the future annual meeting in Louisville for 2022.
Sorry, I have to talk so much.
That's okay. It's family. We're just having a conversation.
Everybody left me today. I also, on kind of a jokingly matter, I guess I forgot to mention with our Kentucky section, with Scott being the ITE, the rep for the district. He said that since he's been in Mexico, he has definitely been fulfilling his international role this year.
That sounds like Scott.
Yeah. Were we gonna do the video during this at the end?
You can do it now. You can do it at the end. What's your preference? Jeff had to leave us, so I don't know that Becky's now our tech person.
Yes, but he did not send me the video. I have the resolutions, but not the video.
Gotcha.
I have the video, but maybe we'll just maybe finish up with it.
If you like, we can finish with it.
So I can take a minute to pull it up and have it ready to roll.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's do that, because I wasn't sure. I know you mentioned having it in the business meeting and yesterday. So anyways.
I'll move you down to announcements. Item 11.
Perfect. Do you want me to give our update now or wait till then?
You can wait till then.
Okay.
Thank you. Does anybody, I know Jody wasn't online earlier for the meeting in Savannah. Anybody want to take on the Georgia? I know we have a contract. So I think that's going to be the report for the Savannah meeting.
This is Mike Holt, and I'll say that we are moving things forward for Savannah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would not have known to call on you, so thank you for speaking up. And obviously we'll be back in Wilmington in 2024, because that's how come we are not being penalized for breaking our hotel contract. And 2025, Tennessee is a joint meeting with Movite in Memphis. I don't suppose anybody from Tennessee wants to say anything about that, because it is still early. In 2026.
Well, there's one thing I like to say about I like to welcome all y'all to Memphis. Y'all be coming by car, airplane, and some of you by mystery train. Hopefully you'll be staying at the Heartbreak Hotel. If not, I hope you reconsider, baby. You know, if you don't even attend this meeting, you ain't nothing but a hound dog.
And that's what I love about our district. We have a great creative group of people that can make you smile.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Cindy, you know, you look a little familiar. I did this show back in the 70s in Knoxville. And there's this little girl up on the front row. Well, she wasn't so little, but she made me sing Love Me Tender twice. You know what I mean?
You're gonna laugh, but when I was a freshman at UT, this is a true story. My spring of my freshman year, I was coming back late at night from studying, and I'm walking across campus, and out of one of the dorms was Elvis, and they were throwing all kinds of confetti and stuff down, and he ended up
clothes and all kinds of stuff. That's right.
He had a limo and everything, and drove down to the little bar that was down there at the bottom in Morrell Hall, and I ended up getting to meet Elvis that night.
Looking forward to Memphis.
I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.
Oh,
yeah. That's a hoot. I hadn't thought about that in ages.
All right.
Oh gosh. Okay. We're moving on to old business. Student Leadership Summit. Jody's not here, but I just wanted to let y'all know that the board officially adopted a procedure for how the next school location will be selected. And essentially it's the host school, which last year was Georgia Tech. They were the ones who put together an RFP process that the University of Virginia and Virginia Tech, since they're co-teaming, won, and they will be hosting it in 2022. And once they make it through that, they will be the ones selecting the next student host. So great to have a process in place, and as always, we'll adjust it as needed. The Transportation 101 class, I don't remember seeing Brandon online. That's something he's working on, and we're hoping we're going to unveil more of this year. It's basically to help educate both recently elected officials as well as people who have been promoted into transportation jobs who do not have transportation backgrounds. So anyhow, those are those two. Stay tuned for the Transportation 101. Once again, that'll be in the e-connectors and e-blasts for what's coming up. Diane, we're back to you on the new business, One ITE Task Force. Can you give us a little update?
I'm super excited about this, y'all. There's been a lot of discussion, even within our district, of, we got rid of the affiliates, we got rid of all of that. And I think some of us have accepted it and kind of moved on and others haven't. But the goal of this task force is to make sure that everyone knows what's available and everyone has the same opportunities and information. The first thing, we've got a few things that are like we're tasked with for this year that we've established. The first one was we established a website with a suite of resources for the district sections and chapters, so that you can go online and you can get information about taxes or websites or just, standard business stuff that the district sections and chapters are might want to dig into. That website has been launched. It's in rough form, I'll say that. We're still filling in some data, but there's a lot of it there. So please check it out. If y'all don't have the link to the website, I'll be glad to send it to y'all to dig through. What they're noticing across the country and the world really is that not everybody has the same expectations. Some districts are really involved, some chapters are more involved, and it just kind of varies. So they're trying to make sure everybody's got access to the same stuff. Item 2 that we will be working on is implementing a new leader orientation, so that the treasurer of Southern District can meet with the treasurer of Mid-Colonial or one of the other sections to kind of see and hear and talk, and try to pair some folks up there and do some overall training for positions. And then begin to set up personal conversations for roles and how do you handle meetings and different tasks to try to get all of the levels of the organizations talking. And then we're also working on ways to share what are the benefits of being an ITE member. What are they? How do you get to them? How do you access them? And then start talking through some branding things. Every district, every section, every chapter, all of our websites are different, and some don't even contain the basic information. And look, I'll tell you, Deep South's one of them. We're not good at that. So how can we make that easier for some of the other folks, and what information's available, what platforms, what resources, that kind of thing. So I'm really, really excited. And as we go through this task force and get a little further along in the plan, I'll probably set up some calls with the section reps from each section to kind of talk about what we're doing, so that we're making sure we're sharing all the information. So if anybody's interested in any of the details of any of that, call me, shoot me an email. Be happy to share, be happy to get you plugged in and helping, so we can all display the joys and the benefits of this community that we have.
Thank you, Diane. Does anybody have any questions for her? We're looking like we're going to be right on schedule here. Craig, you're up next on the operations manual updates. And he's still online. but I'm not.
Yeah, I just got to find the mute. Thanks. We have been working on some updates for the last, actually a couple of years to the operations manual that Hollis Loveday led the effort to update. And some of the changes were necessary because the new bylaws that the district had, which went into effect last year. So several people, including Becky, have been accumulating things that needed to be changed. I went in and made a number of those changes. And at the board meeting on Sunday, the board approved those changes to the operations manual. And then there are two topics that we need to continue to work on before the board meeting this fall. The awards section of the operations manual needs to be updated, and the performance measures section of the operations manual needs to be updated as well. But we should have, I'll get with Jeff and get the revised operations manual posted on the website.
Thank you, Craig. Okay, next up, Allison. Hopefully you will have your microphone turned off. Or yeah, there we go.
Can y'all hear me?
I can now. I said the wrong word. Thank you.
Okay, it's all good. Okay. So I'm honored to read this resolution of appreciation for the 2021 Annual Meeting Local Arrangements Committee. Whereas the organization and management of the annual meeting of the Southern District Institute of Transportation Engineers are primarily the responsibilities of the members and friends of the Southern District who reside in and near the host city, which was supposed to be Wilmington, North Carolina, but was changed to a virtual meeting due to COVID-19 concerns. And whereas the success of the meeting is directly attributable to these who dedicated their time unselfishly to organizing the meeting, and whereas this 68th annual meeting has resulted in very informative technical sessions and numerous virtual interactive opportunities were provided. Now therefore be it resolved that the members here assembled express their appreciation individually and collectively to all who gave so unselfishly of their time and efforts to contribute to the committees or by participating in the program. Special gratitude is expressed to the following: co-chairs Mike Saraski, Terry Arleno, and Krista Green. ABD liaison, Forrest Temple. Apparel, Bastian Schroeder. Conference help desk, Stephen Odom. Finance, Candace Kanzler and Justin Carroll. Logo creator, Amy Coons. Make It Funner, Jonathan Reed. Mailing, Christina Whitfield, Sarah Wickland, Shravya Sudvera, Joe Hummer, and Josh Hurst. Program agenda, Stacy Phillips. Public relations, Christina Whitfield. Registration, France Campbell. Sponsorship, Peter Kurtz. Technology, Jeff Stevenson and Meredith Van Dyne. Traffic Bowl liaison, Lauren Tribert. Website, Micah McCawi.
Thank you. And go on and take care of the other resolution of appreciation.
Again, it is my honor to present a resolution of appreciation to the 2021 annual meeting sponsoring firms. Whereas the organization and management of the annual meeting of the Southern District Institute of Transportation Engineers are primarily the responsibilities of the members and friends of the Southern District who reside in and near the host city, which was supposed to be Wilmington, North Carolina, but was changed to a virtual meeting due to COVID-19 concerns. And whereas the success of the meeting is directly attributable to the dedication and enthusiasm of those who participate and support the meeting. And whereas the 68th annual meeting has resulted in very informative technical sessions and numerous virtual interactive opportunities that were provided. Now therefore be it resolved that the members here assembled express their appreciation to all the consulting firms who gave so unselfishly of their time and resources to enhance the success of the meeting. Special gratitude is expressed to Peter Kurtz for his hard work soliciting the many generous contributions of the consultants and their respective companies. They have been greatly appreciated, and the names of the individual consultants and/or their companies have been displayed for all to see throughout this meeting.
Thank you, Allison. So, Lindsay, are you ready?
I am ready, and well,
go ahead.
Well, we are very excited about hosting in Louisville. There's a lot of great things going on in downtown Louisville where we've added a soccer team and working on some botanical gardens, lots of great things down Riverfront. You can go see how Louisville Slugger bats are made, some very cool things, but I can play our promotional video. There's a heads up. If you didn't participate yesterday, there is a way to win tickets for some tasty bourbon that Scott and I'll be providing. So I think anybody would be happy to maybe walk away with that, or, you know, put it up on the shelf. It's really pretty of your times at Kentucky. So let me share my screen. I think Jeff said everybody can have that, and we'll have a go at this. Does that work?
Yes.
Cool. And we love making videos here in Kentucky. Hopefully you saw our roll call video, which I think was pretty darn awesome. But Cindy said, well, we're going to make the promotional video and do these things all as videos. So Scott's like, comes into the office and he says, hey, Lindsay, we're going to make the promotional video for this. Let's do it tonight since you, me, and Brad are all at the ballpark. All right, let's give it a try. So this is what you get one day at the ballpark. Does the sound come through?
Not yet.
No. Crap. I don't know what to do about that. Should I send it to Becky?
Maybe. Because I'm not hearing any, right now you're kind of paused there, but I'm not getting
Right.
any.
I don't know if it helps if I like turn up my audio that you can hear it. Let me try that. Ooh.
Yeah, turn it up some more.
This is right.
Sorry, it's got the ad from the YouTube and another ad. This is going really well.
I can hear those.
You might have to move your microphone.
Let's see if I can do this instead. Not doing it. Okay, let me try pulling it up again here. I'm not in charge of technical stuff for our meeting. Okay, there it is. All right.
Now, who is ready for some in-person meeting?
If you try to put your microphone closer to it.
March 27th through the 30th at the Omni Hotel downtown. We're going to have a lot of fun things planned for you.
Now, we'd like to give you this video that shows some of the highlights of what Kentucky has to offer.
It's still really faint. You can hear the music. If nothing else, they're great shots of Louisville.
I am super excited about coming to Kentucky. Cannot wait.
I hope you enjoyed that video. And I will answer no matter what it is, because people are not running rampant down Louisville wearing no masks and standing next to each other. We will maintain social distancing and practices as per what needs to be done. So don't let that deter you from coming over and having a good time with us. To help get you excited about the upcoming meeting, we are a little promotion. What I have in my hand, we are going to have some bourbon bottles, some nice bourbon throughout.
Sorry, I was trying to make that sound better.
Cheryl's Cookies loves love.
Oh,
Show
crap.
how much you care. Her smile, almost as much as you do.
Nope.
Nope.
Should have left it. Should have let it go.
You want to jump to the trivia question?
Yeah, let me just jump to the trivia question so we can all move on with this. I give. It's Friday, right?
It's Friday. That's okay. The pictures, like I said, of Louisville were beautiful.
Yeah, they had a great video. Okay.
Hey, thanks, Lindsay. So the 2022 LAC is offering you a chance to win one of several bottles of bourbon at the meeting in Louisville. Guess what? Your first chance is today. And after that, there's going to be a monthly trivia question in the Southern District Connector where you can keep on increasing your chances of winning. So each correct answer you give me increases your chance of winning. Every correct entry, you're going to get a virtual ticket. You will be able to earn up to 12 virtual tickets. And then at the annual meeting, you'll be able to redeem those virtual tickets for a paper ticket. At the meeting, you'll be able to place your paper ticket into a raffle for up to 3 different types of bourbon. Now, if you're not able to attend the meeting, we're going to be very sad, but you can let Brad, Lindsay, or me know where your tickets should go. And then at the opening reception in Louisville, we will announce the winners, and the LAC will help ensure you can get your bottle home no matter where you are. Now, if you're under 21, sorry, this game isn't for you. So the first question, the International Airport in Louisville, Kentucky was renamed in 2019 after which famous Louisvillian? Is it A, Hunter S. Thompson, B, Muhammad Ali, C, Jennifer Lawrence, or D, Zachary Taylor? Again, the International Airport in Louisville was named in 2019 after which famous Louisvillian? Hunter S. Thompson, Muhammad Ali, Jennifer Lawrence, and Zachary Taylor. Now, to be part of the trivia game, you need to send your response in an email to me, Scott Walker, which is scottwalker@toyota.com, with the answer to the question. Please include your name, email, and your answer, A, B, C, or D. Good luck.
And you don't get
Okay, so
an
now,
extra.
who is excited about joining us in Louisville and all the things that we have to offer with the bourbon, the horses, the technical education, meeting friends, making new friends? Who's excited? We are.
Okay, so if you participated yesterday, you do not get to have another guess, and you do not get another ticket for answering it again. So this is your first ticket opportunity. If you haven't sent it to him, send Scott an answer, and we'll get you on the list if you have the right answer. And we plan to have those. We'll be working with the Meredith on getting those into the connector. So every month, look for an opportunity to learn a little something about Kentucky. They might get a little bit harder, a little bit easier. I don't know. You'll have to just wait and see. But we're really, really excited. We have some fantastic ideas to incorporate into this, and we're hoping to. We've had the meeting app going on for a while, discussion about that. We'd like to integrate that into there and make things really user friendly for this. And there's several things I had already planned for an APA conference there that are some fun elements that'll be very easy for us to book and add into this. So hopefully you'll be pleasantly surprised about some of the fun additions that we're looking to add. And I hope you enjoyed our spur of the moment. Let's make a promotional video.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate that. Next to last on the agenda, does anybody have anything they want to bring up that we did not already cover?
Cindy, this is Krista, and I have one thing to add, and Lindsay sort of reminded me that we want to thank all the sections for the great roll call videos. That was so much fun, and they were all so different that it wildly exceeded any expectations we had. So thank you to all the sections. They were great.
And I would have to agree that, since I'm the one who asked them to do something. And I was surprised that everybody opted to do a video, but it was great. It was a nice variety. And once again, you can see the creative element coming out of our members. So I would like to take this opportunity before we wrap up just to say a thank you once again to everybody who's here at this business meeting, as well as who attended and registered for the annual meeting, and all of the people behind the scenes, the LAC, all the teams that they assembled to make this meeting happen. I thank you. The board thanks you. We're in awe. So on that note, I believe this concludes our business meeting. So I'd like to have a motion and a second to adjourn. And don't be shy, people.
I'll motion to end the meeting.
I'll second it.
And on that, we are officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone.